So in this video, we are going to highlight 3 features that will characterize a good design report. The purpose of the design report is to describe your design process and to present your design concept. So on top of the effectiveness of your design process, as well as the quality of your design concept, we are going to offer you 3 suggestions that will hopefully improve the quality of your report. The first suggestion is to visualize your thinking process. How do you do that? In practice, we found that it is most effective to use tables, figures, diagrams, as many as you possibly can. Okay? Because human cognition works in a way that when you convert the text-based content into tables, into diagrams, into figures, you are automatically forced to rethink your arguments. Okay, so as many as you possibly can, you are encouraged to include tables, figures, diagrams into your report. As much as you possibly can, you want to make sure that your tables, figures, diagrams are original creation of yourself, instead of something you just copy and paste from the internet. The second suggestion we have for you to improve the quality of your report is to make sure that your argument and your value propositions are very concise, very concrete, and evidence-based. Your report is composed of many interrelated sentences and paragraphs. Each of them will represent your argument or your value proposition. You want to make sure that your argument or your sentence, each one of them, is very concise. In practice, we observe a lot of students. They are inclined to write a lot of overly complicated sentences only to express a very simple idea. You do not want to do that. You want to make sure that your argument is very concise. Okay? You also want to make your argument very specific. Because the design methods we teach in this course are highly generic. They are very general. They can be applied to different projects. So it's important that you make your arguments or your proposition very concrete, specific, and detailed. Make sure that they are tailored precisely to your project. You also want to make sure that your argument or your proposition is backed up by evidence. Instead of saying something like, this is what I think, this is what I speculate, you should try to use concrete data, information, evidence to consolidate your argument. So the third suggestion we have for you is to make sure that different parts of your report are highly consistent with each other. In practice, because everyone has a busy schedule, a common strategy used by the groups to deal with team project is to divide the responsibility and then allocate the responsibility to different students. Okay, so in practice, a lot of the groups, they will decompose different parts of the reports and give it to different students. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this approach because design is a highly collaborative process. As much as possible, I encourage you to collaborate closely with your group members instead of dividing responsibilities. But on the other hand, I understand that because of the busy schedule, because of your busy workload, and sometimes you have to divide responsibilities. If this is the strategy you are going to follow, you want to make sure that different components of your report, which are completed by different students, are highly consistent with each other, are integrated seamlessly. In order to do that, I encourage you to designate 2 students to play the role of report integrator and consistency examiner. One student should be responsible for integrating different parts of the report into one report. The second student should be responsible for double-checking the consistency between different parts of the report. In practice, to make the life of these 2 students easier, it's very important that every group member should submit their individual parts to these 2 students as early as you possibly can. So these are the 3 suggestions we have for you so that you can hopefully improve the quality of your design report.